Look, I actually turned on the lights for you. Usually I don't bother with it, but then I realized that it's maybe it's not that enjoyable if it's too dark here. So I just turned on the lights today, so actually you can see something, because it's still kind of gray here, the weather. It's March. The first 2 weeks of March actually was very nice with the sunshine and everything, but now everything went back to winter time, you know, the greatness and everything. And we went for an appointment, and there was a coffee there. And we had smoked salmon bagel. And I remember there was a place we used to live, and there was an elderly couple who were selling bagels in a bag that they actually made at home, you know, with honey and everything. And they were selling it, like there was 5 or 6 in a bag, and it was frozen. And I remember when they came, we were really waiting for them, and then we ran downstairs and we bought a couple of them to fill up the fridge. And that bagel was very good, and what we had today was kind of the same taste. It was very good. We had it was very funny because when we ordered it, all of us was ordering this smoked salmon bagel, and one of us ordered it plain as it is. Someone ordered it toasted. I ordered it toasted as well. So it was really funny. It's like in every single culture like to eat the same thing in a different, slightly different way, and I find it always very funny, always very funny. So it's March, and I am still under the influence of the 15th of March, National Day in Hungary. Right now I'm based in London. We had the smoke salmon bagel in a North London place, but I'm also Hungarian, and we are celebrating the Hungarian holidays, and it's a national day. The date is 1848, so we remember that time when the revolution broke out, the beginning of the revolution. That was 15th of March against the Habsburg, and it was going on for actually a long while, more than a year, because we just like, you know, it just yeah, we were put up a good fight. But then the Habsburg decided to bring in the Russians, and well, we lost. So there's a national holiday about lost revolution. But 15th of March was still full of hope, because that was the beginning of the revolution. And back at home there were lots of events, and sometimes they are not really exciting. You know, they do it out of routine. There's like an actor reading up from a book or reciting a poem or something like that, so not really exciting. But sometimes it's really good. And this year, 15th of March, we were here in London, but many of our friends, they actually flew back home. It's March, February, March, even January, February, March. This month, if you wanna travel home, fly back home from London to Budapest or London to other cities in Eastern Europe, it's very cheap because it's out of season. It's not the winter holiday times, it's not the summer holiday times, so it's very cheap to go back home. And they participated in these events, and they had such good fun as well. And we were obviously here in London, and we were watching it live on the internet, and all the speeches, all the music and everything was so spot on. I think that was one of the best 15th of March that I ever had. We celebrate this at the schools as well. It's a very important day, 15th of March, and I was acting in this yeah, in these events as well. We were putting up a show, theater show and stuff, and I always in there. And for some reason, I was always the always the negative character. I don't know why. Anyway, so this is London, and this is March. Very gray sky, and sometimes it's raining, sometimes it's very cold. We are wearing our winter jackets, but there are good things happening here as well. There is a book I've been looking for a very long time, and we spent a couple of hours going to charity shops. And every single charity shop there is section for the ladies. It's usually it's like 90% is for the ladies, because they like to visit these charity shops both as people who are bringing in used clothes, and people who are buying them. And there's a very little section for the male audience, and there are books in there. And I find the book what I am looking for a very long time, and this is the portrait. I have it in my hand, the portrait of a killer. It's about the Jack Ripper case, Jack the Ripper case closed, and it's written by Patricia Cornwell, who did an extensive research on the subject. And when you open it, in the first chapter, she starts with Walter Sickert, because she is saying that she was the one who committed these crimes in 1888. It's quite a big deal here in London. If you go to the Tower area, there are several companies doing these walking tours. So you pay like 10, 15, 20 pounds. It's very affordable price for what you get in return. And you go for these walking tours, and you actually visit the actual sites, the real sites of the places where the crime, because it was a series of the crimes took place. And there is a speech, there are lots of stories, you know, around the subject. And here in England and around the world, there are so many people who are still spending lots of time, putting in lots of working hours, finding out who the killer was. So actually there are it's a very big deal. And I remember during the lockdown time, when everyone needed to stay at home, it was a couple of years ago, and the moment they said, okay, you can actually leave your house, that was the very first thing we choose to do with friends, that we went for this Jack the Ripper walking tour. And everyone had the mask on, everyone had this social distancing, the 2 meters, you know, distance, and we were walking on the street, and yeah, we were visiting all the places where they find the bodies of Jack the Ripper. But the Jack the Ripper left behind, and it's yeah, it's still an unclosed, still an ongoing thing. It's a court case. And but I wanted to tell you about this, that there was a time when I lived alone for years, and then I lived with family. And I remember I never really cared about true crime or crime stories or anything like that when I lived alone. And when I started to live with family again, my interest completely changed. So I started to like thrillers and crime stories and totally different genres. I find it very interesting, you know, how someone can change so much. But then I realized that this is something that the whole family can do together, because that part of a crime story and the